Your problem is, you're really cute, so no one ever told you to shut your pie hole.
You think I'm cute?
Shut your pie hole!
Okay, let's talk about it. So last week, the first episode of that 90s show premiered on Netflix, and it was actually pretty good. I liked that many of the 70s cast were there, and I think it has great potential to carry on the legacy. But it made me a bit nostalgic to rewatch that 70s show. And so with the video for this week, I want to talk about the couple that deserves better. That 70s show was an American period teen sitcom that aired on Fox from 98 to 06, spanning 8 seasons, but really only 7 because if you've seen the show, we've all agreed that season 8 just doesn't exist. The series focuses on the lives of a group of 6 teenagers living in the fictional town of Point Place, Wisconsin in the late 70s. The show is made up of an ensemble cast featuring Eric Foreman, his dad Red, his mom Kitty, and his sister Laurie. Among the other cast members are his next door neighbor and on-again, off-again girlfriend Donna Pinciati, best friend and foster brother Stephen Hyde, childhood friend Michael Kelso, Jackie Burkhart, and Fez, a foreign exchange student that they befriended. I actually can't believe it took me this long to realize that Fez literally stands for foreign exchange students. I feel so slow, especially as there's a running gag in the show that we never hear Fez's real full name. Now, if you already haven't seen it, I really recommend it. It's a fun show that's effortlessly funny with a great cast and amazing chemistry, making it a very much binge-worthy show. It really doesn't get talked about enough. It was such a fun show with excellent acting and great writing and just a good time. Like, they didn't take themselves too seriously. Like, you could see the characters breaking character and laughing at the jokes in many scenes, which I just really love. And I'm sorry, but Eric, what's his name? Topher Grace kills it in this role as Eric. I just love him. In fact, actually, they all kill it. Every single member of the cast is pulling their weight, and it is just effortlessly fucking hilarious. The writing is so well done. I could watch it over and over again. Like, it just doesn't get talked about enough. I could even make a whole recap video for you guys if you want. Just let me know in the comments and I'll get to that someday. But with this video, I want to focus on the main star of the show, the relationship between Jackie Burkhart and Stephen Hyde, and how they deserved so much better. Also, a little fun fact, the way I heard about this show is learning on Twitter that Mila Kunis lied about her age, claiming to be 18 when she was actually 14 to secure this role. So yeah, the more you know, right? Similar to Boy Meets World, one of the reasons I fell in love with this show was because of the relationship between Hyde and Jackie. On my first watch through, I quickly became obsessed with the relationship for obvious reasons. The main one being that, as we've established, enemies to lovers trope is/was my shit. Plus, when they were good, they were good.
Wanna hear something sick? I actually missed you calling me Puddin' Pop.
Before I break down my opinion and explore other relationships with Jackie on the show, I'm going to give you guys a quick recap of the journey through the series.
How could I like her? Because I don't like her. Because I can't like her. Mrs. Foreman, if I like her, shoot me. Pow! Jackie, get your car. We're going on a freaking date.
Jackie and Hyde from the beginning of the show are complete opposites. While Jackie is rich, materialistic, and shallow, Hyde is lower in class, a self-described rebel who cares about substance. In their own words, Hyde refers to Jackie as shallow and rich and mean and bossy, everything he hates, while Jackie frequently refers to Hyde as scruffy and poor. They strongly dislike each other during the early seasons, but when Jackie catches Kelso cheating on her with Laurie for the millionth time in season 2, she seeks comfort and companionship in Hyde. He has protective feelings towards her, and this comes out during this time as he defends and protects her against Laurie.
Why does she always come to me?
As he helps her get over the breakup, she develops an infatuation with him that isn't reciprocated. In fact, it very much annoys him.
Oh no, now you like Hyde?
No, I don't like him. I just think he's like the sweetest, coolest guy I've ever met.
But in season 3, episode 8, we see that maybe he's developed some romantic feelings for her. At the start of the episode, Donna helps Jackie realize that maybe Hyde isn't playing hard to get and that she doesn't have a real chance with him. So to test this out, she invites a date to the Foreman's barbecue to make Hyde jealous. Things go south when the date says he's only really there for a chance to nail her, and when he calls Jackie a bitch, he punches him.
He called me a bitch, and you hit him. And that's what happened, isn't it?
No.
Liar. here. I am the bitch, and you love me.
Because of this, Jackie begins to idealize Hyde even more, and unsure of what his feelings are for her, he takes her on a date. The date doesn't start off that well as they spend the first 30 minutes in silence. Jackie tries to connect with Hyde, but he makes fun of her. This prompts her to ask him to take her home instead, but he apologizes and admits that he's actually having some fun. Their potential is seen here as Jackie demonstrates a lot of empathy for Hyde, wanting to connect with him, and even how she doesn't force him to go on some kind of lavish date that he would hate. She accepts the date just sitting on his car and doesn't complain. And we see Hyde protective of her, punching a guy that calls her a bitch, something KELSO would never do, and shows her his nicer side, offering her his drink and his coat and admitting that he doesn't want the date to end. Towards the end of the date, they share an intense kiss, and Jackie has a different response to it than she expected. She admits that the kiss was hot, but that she didn't feel anything. Hyde hesitates, then echoes this sentiment, but his body language and previous dialogue suggests otherwise.
Okay, I didn't feel anything.
Nothing?
Like, I'm sorry, but his disappointment at her response and the surprise of how the kiss made him feel is written all over his face, and you can't tell me otherwise. Their relationship isn't really given any more storylines until season 5, which is where it officially starts. But though they have limited scenes together throughout season 3 and season 4, it's clear that Hyde likes her much more than before. I think he felt something during the kiss and spends this time trying to suppress his feelings for her, especially as it seems that she's over it. It's seen when he scares off a clown trying to touch her, high-fives her after she burns Eric several times, flirts with her in her cheese maiden outfits, expresses dislike for her and KELSO getting back together many times, and generally insults her less behind her back.
It was obvious she wanted me.
I want you.
It's obvious.
At the beginning of season 5, we learned that one day during the summer holidays, after watching too much The Price is Right, the two begin making out of boredom and start a physical relationship. Despite Eric and Donna's disapproval, they both seem happy and determined to stay together, though initially denying that they're dating and maintaining it's merely physical, calling it a meaningless fling. But we see that they are unable to break it off, suggesting that it goes more than physical attraction. Over the course of season 5, they gradually accept that they have genuine feelings for each other, both learning how to be better people individually and in a couple. For example, Jackie teaches Hyde that love goes beyond arguments and anger, and Hyde gives Jackie a safe place to be vulnerable. Though he's kept a secret at first to spare KELSO's feelings, when he does find out, he tries numerous times to break them up, but all his attempts failed until episode 13, when Jackie sees KELSO making out with another girl and blurts out, "Get off my boyfriend." This causes Hyde to break up with her, thinking she still has feelings for KELSO. She's able to win Hyde back by telling him she loves him and not expecting to hear it in return in the next episode. They get back together and pretty much stay together until episode 22, when Hyde's lack of trust gets the better of him. He believes that Jackie is cheating on him with KELSO and sleeps with a nurse, not out of lust, but out of revenge and anger. But the truth, however, is that Jackie was merely comforting KELSO when Fez had a sex dream about him. Another side note, but what is Chili from TLC doing here? So random. When Hyde comes clean to her right away, she breaks up with him, and I love this for her because she's finally standing up for herself and not accepting cheating. This breakup leaves him heartbroken, even going as far as saying he finally understands country music now. Upon hearing about the breakup, KELSO informs Hyde that he still loves Jackie and will be going after her. This prompts Hyde into action, and he tells Jackie for the first time that he loves her. For a moment, this declaration seems to reach her, but she stands her ground, replying with, "Yeah, well, I don't love you," and leaves. In episode 24, though Hyde thinks he's lost Jackie forever, he fights with KELSO over her on top of the water tower, and this results in KELSO falling off and injuring himself. At the hospital, Hyde and KELSO make a pact to put their friendship first and not go after Jackie. But thinking that Hyde was hurt, Jackie rushes to the hospital to see him. Hyde is shocked to see her, and realizing that he still has a chance, this prompts him to tell KELSO that the pact is off, as he's never felt this way about a girl before.
Look, KELSO, never felt this way about a girl before, okay? And that pretty much beats our third grade pact. I'm sorry, but I want to be with her.
By the season finale, Jackie, undecided about who she wants to be with, pits Hyde and KELSO against each other to prove who loves her the most. In the end, she decides that she loves herself the most and will take the summer to think about her choices between her ex-boyfriends.
When you're deeply, truly happy, it's a sure sign you're doing everything wrong.
It's true. When Steven's unhappy, I know our relationship is in good shape.
Well, then we've been tip-top since the minute I met you.
At the start of season 6, Jackie pretends to still be undecided, but she confesses to Donna that she's chosen Hyde, and eventually she tells him, and they kiss before they're interrupted by Hyde's date. Hyde tells her that she should have chosen him instead of being immature and dragging it out, and leaves with the other date. After a brief period of playing games with each other, with Jackie trying to seduce him and Hyde pretending he doesn't care, they finally reconcile by the end of the second episode with help from KELSO. They both initially refuse to admit they want to be with each other, but Jackie pushes through her pride and admits it first. I hate that it's always her making the first move. She attempts to get another "I love you" from him, but he tells her not to push it and they kiss.
Jackie, I do want to be with you.
Because you live.
Don't push it.
Okay.
They stay together for pretty much the bulk of this season with some very cute, affectionate moments. In episode 18 though, the question of Hyde's long-term commitment to Jackie is almost directly addressed, when Jackie keeps playfully pestering Hyde about their eventual wedding due to Eric's and Donna's approaching. Hyde keeps telling Jackie that they aren't getting married, but when he finds her wearing a wedding dress, he doesn't yell at her as she both expects and gives him permission to do. He stares at her in a love daze and blurts out, "You're so beautiful." He continues to stare at her in his love daze until she realizes the significance of his actions, and it's so fucking adorable. Season 5 establishes that Jackie and Hyde's relationship has had a growth and change effect on them both, and several episodes of season 6 reconfirms the effect they have on each other. However, in season 7 is where things get rocky and sometimes inconsistent with who they've grown to be at this point.
I mean, who does she think she is giving me an ultimatum? Marry me or move into Chicago? And then she takes off before I even give her an answer.
Well, what's the big deal, man? I mean, she pretty much let you off the hook.
Yeah, you were gonna say no anyway, unless... Oh my God, you were gonna say yes!
No. What? No.
In the second episode of season 7, we witness how truly supportive Jackie is of Hyde, and that she has had a significant influence on his behaviour. In the beginning of this episode, we learn that she continually pushes him to call his birth father, and Hyde, as usual, deflects by saying he only agreed to make Jackie shut up. But us knowing Hyde, he wouldn't have given in unless he trusted her judgment. During this season, we begin to see bigger cracks in the relationship forming. In episode 12, they break up for a bit when Hyde is unable to promise that they'll get married at some point, but they get back together just 5 episodes later with help from Fez. But to me, it doesn't really make that much sense because they haven't really resolved any of the issues. Instead, it seems that they've just brushed over it because they miss each other. But it could be argued that this is pretty realistic because people do this all the time. The relationship stays pretty smoothish until Jackie is offered a job in Chicago, and she tells Hyde about it, suggesting that she would stay if he gave her any indication that they would eventually get married at some point.
Steven, this is my dream come true. But you are the most important thing in the world to me. So I'm willing to give it all up and stay here with you. But if I do that, I need to know we're gonna get married.
Jackie, we just agreed not to talk about our future.
But our future is happening right now. Look, the station needs an answer by noon on Sunday, and I do too.
Initially, Hyde doesn't have an answer, but when he's ready to answer, she's already gone, or so he thought anyways. Jackie, having no way out of Point Place, and in one last attempt to get an answer out of Hyde, goes over to the basement. But again, with the issue of pride, Hyde hides his true feelings, and acting out of hurt and anger that she left him, tells her to have a good trip. In the next episode, Hyde decides that he's going to get her back and goes after her, but before he can express his true intentions, KELSO walks into the hotel room with a towel around his waist and a bucket of ice in his hands, implying that him and Jackie are about to have sex. But to me, this is cheap because firstly, KELSO makes sexual comments to every female in the show, and again, he could literally just talk to her. This could be easily avoided. Hyde, believing that the two were really about to have sex, drives off to Las Vegas, being hurt that she moved on from him so quickly and easily. And again with KELSO.
No, forget it.
Well, I guess that's that.
Well, that was horrible.
When Hyde comes back to Point Place from Vegas in the first episode of season 8, he discovers that he has married a stripper named Samantha, which effectively ends his relationship with Jackie. But like, can we please make it make sense? Like the fact that Steven gets married and stays married to a woman he just met over a woman that he claims to love is just such a slap in the face. Like, it's such a slap in the face to everything the previous showrunners created, and to us as fans who've invested all our time in the previous seasons. It's just plain disrespect, and I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't get over it. Like, who okayed it? It doesn't make sense. They pretty much remain friends, but their friendship reverts back to the frenemies dynamic we saw in the first 2 seasons, with Hyde often teasing her and talking down on their romantic past. This is a complete regression and a letdown, and is one of the reasons why we don't acknowledge season 8. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Throughout season 8, Jackie remains single. At some point, Kelso proposes to her, but while she admits she's loved him and thought of him as her soulmate, she refuses. At the end of the season, Jackie realizes that At the end of the season, Jackie realizes that Fez had all the qualities she was looking for in a man, and they kiss in the finale. More points to the fuck the writers count, because what the fuck? From my research, it seems that the scene at the end of season 7 where Hyde goes to see Jackie in Chicago was originally supposed to be a proposal or some kind of commitment from Hyde, but it was edited to include a naked Kelso to come in and leave a cliffhanger when the show was renewed for another season at the last moment, which kind of makes sense for why it felt kind of rushed and sloppy. The season 8 showrunners used this as a cliffhanger to break Jackie and Hyde up for good. There's a noticeable difference about how they felt about the couple. Apart from the breakdown of this beautiful relationship, between the absence of Eric and Kelso, the addition of Randy, and just a general decline in quality and comedy, season 8 was just terrible. Even David Traynor, the director, said season 8 was like an alternate reality for the characters that didn't make sense after the other seasons. It's like they didn't even watch the show. I don't know why you take a job on a show but not make it flow make sense. Like, why? Why? Why?
Oh, get off me!
I was trying to help.
You were trying to cop a feel.
You didn't let me finish. I was trying to help myself to a handful of your boob. But I would like to help.
No, just no. This was nonsensical at best. It literally blows my mind that they made her end up with Fez. I literally can't see how it would make sense to anyone. It would have made more sense to follow the route of her learning to be independent and discovering that she can be on her own than ending up with Fez. My feelings for Fez aside, I could argue that he never was really in love with her, he just liked the idea of her. They had the almost opposite dynamic of Jackie and Hyde. Just a terrible match, especially in season 8 as well. Like, yes, he's always been attracted to her, but Fez is literally attracted to everyone. What he feels for her isn't special. She likes him for what he'll do for her, not for who he is.
Who's been after me for years and who's really very sweet. But I never paid any attention to him because, you know, he's foreign.
Plus, they're both terrible to each other and for each other. Like, let's not forget that as much as we love Jackie, she is racist, or at least xenophobic. As a rich white girl in the 70s, she's literally always looked down on Fez for being foreign and believes she's genuinely superior than him.
Ouch. You okay?
And as funny as Fez is, he is a huge perverted creep who once tried to kiss her when she was vulnerable. Throughout the series, Fez goes from kind of creepy and pervy to a full-blown pervert.
Okay, well, there's Michael, who cheated on me. And then there's Steven, who would rather vandalize a car than commit to a relationship. And now there's Fez.
To me, accepting to be with him is almost like she's just giving up after being heartbroken by men that she loved so passionately as well. Hyde broke her heart, Kelso broke her heart, even her father broke her heart. It seems like she didn't really want to gamble with love anymore, but instead settle with someone who's obsessed with her in a way that she knows she can't get hurt. And it's just kind of sad, to be honest.
Out place. I did not swipe the key from my mother's real estate office so that you could have a party.
I know, it's like a bonus. I'm doing it for you, baby.
Oh. Well, okay.
The next best thing for Jackie would have been Kelso. He is arguably the better alternative for her, and the one they explored most in the show, aside from Hyde. I think people's love for them comes from the fact that Ashton and Miller, the actors who played them, are married in real life. And honestly, it was nice seeing them together in the first episode of that 90s show. They were a funny couple with occasional cute moments, and it worked well, especially when they were young. But as they grew up, they grew apart, and in hindsight, their relationship was purely based on lust.
From the first minute that I saw you, I knew that I wanted to fool around with you.
From a purely comedic standpoint, they might have been the best couple on the show, but that's only because they were horribly mismatched as a couple. Jackie's dominant and bossy personality was too overwhelming for Kelso, and his immature way of dealing with it was acting out and finding comfort with other women. She technically bullied him throughout the relationship, and he was always cheating. They were such a toxic and unhealthy couple. Kelso worked better with women who were more mature than Jackie, giving him the space to figure things out, women who could be patient with him and go with him at his own pace. But they did end up having a really cute friendship at some point though.
Ew!
Donna, don't you knock.
Not when it's my room.
Well, we're in here, so...
Yeah, well, I'm in here, so...
Jackie and Hyde, on the other hand, were exactly what the other needed to find happiness and growth. Before Hyde, Jackie was just a spoiled, selfish and bossy young woman, and unlike Kelso and Fez, Hyde was not going to take her shit unchallenged. He made her a better person, making her think less about material things, and she kind of assumed he would do things for her, but that she would have to ask nicely and even consider working to get things for herself, instead of relying on a man to provide for her. While Hyde realized that in order to have a long-term relationship, he would have to be more compassionate and learn to show how he cares about someone.
Hey.
Steven! You shaved your beard off!
Thought it might cheer you up.
Oh my god, you shaved it off for me! You let the razor say the words your mouth couldn't speak.
Being scarred from his parents abandoning him and their unhealthy relationship, his relationship with Jackie slowly healed those wounds. Jackie pushes him to put his pride aside and think about his future. On the surface, they seem to be very different, but when we think about it, they actually share some very core similarities. They can both relate to each other's bad home lives, with both characters being abandoned by their parents during the show. And they both have a significant amount of pride and are pretty impulsive. Additionally, they just have a natural great chemistry. In many scenes, Jackie sits on Hyde's lap, and they always can't seem to keep their hands off each other. Even when the focus of the scene isn't on them, they look very happy to be with each other in the background, and it's just one of the little things that make them a great couple and a superior one in my opinion. But as much as I can gush about the relationship and chemistry though, in hindsight, Jackie deserved better than him. When she loves with all her heart and in her own way. She's relentless, supportive, and always someone you can rely on, and Hyde really took her for granted. She was always begging for his love and commitment, and it's sad to watch at times. As much as I want to say Hyde really did love her, and did it in his own way, he could have done and been so much better. You could argue that it's because he didn't grow up with a healthy example of love, but how long can that be an excuse? He also spent a lot of time with the Foremans and could see Brett and Kit's relationship.
We have a huge fight and then you do something nice for me. It's like when the Grinch stole Christmas, but all the little Who's sang anyway.
I don't know, it's just what people do for the people they care about.
Nobody I ever knew.
To conclude, it actually still hurts me that they went endgame. Having her end up with Fez was so nonsensical and laughable. Like, let's be fucking for real. It was just so lazy and forced, and it's why I don't acknowledge season 8. Hyde and Jackie made sense in ways that the other pairings just didn't. They had similar backgrounds, helped each other grow, and worked in the relationship in a realistic manner until the writers fucked them up and regressed the characters in season 8. Realistically and evidently, Hyde did see a future with Jackie. The relationship paralleled Mr. and Mrs. Foreman in many ways, showing that they could have had a long and lasting successful marriage. They spent so many years building them up from the start, with hints that Hyde had feelings for Jackie, before he even blatantly stated it, like him defending her at the 4th of July party, him calling her beautiful when he took her to the school dance, him teaching her to be zen, and even taking the blame for her when she had marijuana. The writers had a perfect slow burn, and it was all destroyed in season 8, and I'm still salty. Another quick side note, I know this video is about Jackie and Hyde, but I just can't not mention how adorable and cute Donna and Eric's relationship was. It was adorable. They were so cute and so sweet. Ugh, they came a close second to be my favorite pairing, and I could do a video about them too. They are literally the epitome of young love. Just the way he adored Donna was too cute. Like, Eric was the better boyfriend. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Do you agree? Who are you shipping with Jackie? Also, announcements, I will now change my upload schedule to every 2 weeks because I realized that the weekly video isn't sustainable long term, and I want to keep, if I say something, I want to keep my promise with this channel and hold myself accountable. So the next video will be in 2 weeks. But yeah, that's it for this video. As always, don't forget to like, share, leave a comment, and subscribe. Also, click the bell icon so you're notified when I next upload. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!